Jerry Olson. I'm the administrator here at the Veterans Home. I've worked here for 8 years since we opened this place, and I work for Avalon Healthcare, which is the contractor for the Utah Department of Veterans and Military Affairs. We operate this facility, and Jack's a good friend of mine. I met him actually when we had the open house for this facility. Obviously I'm a big guy. Jack's a little smaller than me. I met a lot of people that day, but this little guy came up to me using a cane, introduced himself and said, I have a lot to do with this facility being here. He said, my name's Jack Reber. I was real busy and I didn't have time to really sit down with him and get to know him. To be honest with you, I've had a lot of people tell me that over the years, that they had something to do with this Veterans Home being here. And I talked to Mayor Hart about that, and he said, you know, there's really two guys that can legitimately say that. One of them is Mayor Hart, those two guys. So when it came time for Jack's 100th birthday, he's been talking about this for a long time, as many of you know. You can hear me okay, can't you, Jack? I just want to make sure you can hear me. We thought, well, we got to do something special. Because if you think about it, I don't know a lot of the details, but the few of the details that I know about Jack's history, Jack was one of the first families that settled Ivins. Is that right, Jack?
Very first.
And my understanding is you came here in a wagon when you were 4 years old. And so if you can imagine that. This man right here came here in a wagon when he was 4 years old. And here we are, 96 years later, you know, celebrating him and what he's done for this community. There's several things that, you know, we've had other gentlemen turn 100 in the Veterans Home. We love them all. We honor them all. Jack's a little different in the fact that he settled Ivins. Then he served in the military, served his country, spent most of his life right here in Ivins. Served on the city council, served as mayor, and my understanding is that he had a lot to do. And he'll tell you this, and I don't have time to tell the whole story, but Jack approached a family and asked them to donate some land to the city of Ivins. And they agreed to donate the land as long as the land was used for a civic purpose. Is that right, Mayor Hart?
Bring him back here.
So when it came time for the Utah Department of Veterans and Military Affairs, they were looking for a place to build the Southern Utah Veterans Home. There are several cities interested in having the Veterans Home located in their city. Due to Jack's efforts decades ago, Mayor Hart was able to strike a deal with the state to have the Veterans Home built here. And now Jack lives here. So to me, you can see how that's come full circle. There's some real symmetry there. That a founder of the city of Ivins became, you know, served in our military, became the mayor of Ivins, arranged for this land to be donated. The Veterans Home was built here. And now many veterans and many families of veterans have been, and I'm going to use the word blessed because I know that Jack's a spiritual, religious guy. Many families and veterans have been blessed by this Veterans Home. So we just couldn't let this day go by without an extra special celebration. And so I neglected to introduce Tony Moore, our state officer. He works for the DVMA. Tony and I talked about what we could do. We talked with some members of Jack's family and we went and sat down with the mayor. And the mayor graciously agreed to present to the city council a resolution that this could be Jack Reber Day. So this is Jack Reber Day for all of those reasons. So
everybody's talking, but they got nothing to say. I just wanna turn around and run the other way. I don't wanna hear it, I just want a little peace of mind. Candidates debating, ringing hollow as can be. I'm trying to leave it all behind. I'm trying to see my way to find peace of mind. A little peace of mind. Just a little peace of mind.
This is marvelous. Thank you all so much for being here. We obviously had no idea what to expect, but we knew that Jack had a lot of posterity that lived nearby. We know some of them very well, and I see many of those. How many great grandchildren we got here? Friends, associates. I love all of you. I love all of you.
Right here, you're in.
We welcome you. Most of all, we welcome Jack here on the front steps of City Hall. Now, this City Hall didn't exist when he served as mayor. While he served as mayor, as Jerry explained, we were always on a connection with Jerry this mentioned. Alan Blood, who represented the Blood family, Jack proposed to get a 10-acre donation of land. He's a relative of mine. We're tied together clear back in 1977. When Jack went into his office and asked us to donate 10 acres of land to the city to use for some kind of civic purpose. And it's in there, the city has plans to do different things there, including maybe build a city hall, which we just, so that's going on right there. But the condition was the city could derive no sales tax nor any property tax from that 10 acres. And so when I found out kind of late in the game, because the site selection committee for the Veterans Home have been all over the area, from Cedar City to a number of the communities down here in Washington County, I found out about it late and asked if we could be considered. And I'll never forget the day when the site selection committee, about 25 people, federal, state, and local, drove up 200 East and parked in front of where the Veterans Home is, and I was standing with my back to the mountain. And all I said was, can you imagine a more beautiful, serene, peaceful place where these heroic folks are going to come and live their last months and years of their lives to be for that period of time. They called the next day because they couldn't figure out a better place, right? So there it is. The track record. Down 10 acres, Ivan City did not have a chance at that. So Jack Reber truly is responsible for the Veterans Home being there. And for him to be living there now and receiving such great care, Tony and Jerry, the folks there have done such a great job for Jack and all the others that have come. So Jerry has put together, first of all, 100 years old. We have to sing happy birthday, right? Yeah!
What an
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandpa. Happy birthday to you.
Telling me that we're going to have to celebrate his 105th here in a few years. That's right! I want to turn a minute to Jerry now. They put together something really special. It's a really nice gift. I'd like you to open it. Alright, Joel. Just sit right there and tear the paper off. Todd can help you if you want to. And then we're going to show everybody what it is.
So notes.
Let's turn it around. All the way around. What this is, we have a special challenge coin made. So we have a couple of coins showing both sides right here. We have a picture of Jack in 87? Is that what we decided? I think this is 87. Over here we have a picture of Jack and Mayor Hart in front of the Southern Utah Veterans Home. And then down here we have a congratulatory letter from Governor Cox. And then Mayor Hart can talk about that other piece.
So because this was such a remarkable day and an important celebration, the city of Ivins has declared by proclamation this to be Jack Reber Day. Since Jack wasn't able to be here when the council adopted this proclamation, I'd like to read it for all of you to hear. Kind of touches me, sorry. In 1925, the Ernest John and Jetta Gutler Reber family was the 11th to move to the Santa Clara Bench, later to become the town of Ivins, when Jack Reber was only 4 years old. And whereas Jack and his family lived in a boarded-up tent for a year and a half with no water or lights, while his father cleared land for farming and built their modest homes. Can you imagine on a day like today, living in a boarded-up tent, no power, no AC? Whereas Jack was a member of the first graduating class of Dixie High School and graduated from Dixie Junior College in 1940 and trained in welding and mechanics. And whereas Jack married his sweetheart, Annabelle Levin, on December 20th, 1941, and they moved to California for a period of time. Together they had 6 children: Robert, Caroline, Noreen, Annette, Stephen, Jack, and Shirlene. Belle passed away in 1982, and Jack later remarried Johanna Owens in 1988. And whereas in April of 1943, Jack and Belle moved back to Ivins, purchasing a small home, some property, and a small herd of cattle. After his service in the military, Jack returned home to Ivins, where he worked as a mechanic in St. George and farmed mostly in the Burl area near Enterprise. He has remained a resident of Ivins from then to the present day. And whereas Jack served in the Navy from 1944 to 1946, welding damaged ships, much of his time in the military service was spent in Guam. And whereas Jack Reber served on the town council for many years and was mayor of Ivins from January 2nd, 1978, April 9th, 1980. And whereas while serving as mayor, Jack, among other things, sold city-owned property and got the city out of debt, solicited donations, and with the help of others completed the Ivins City Park, finished installing a culinary water system through the city complete with fire hydrants. And whereas Jack as mayor also approached Alan Blood, requesting that the Blood family, then significant landowners in Ivins, donate 10 acres of land to the city for a future municipal use. The Allen Blood estate did in fact honor Jack's request and donated 10 acres to the city that was ultimately used to bring the Southern Utah Veterans Home to Ivins. And whereas Jack Reber is the oldest living long-term resident of Ivins. On June 16, 2021, Jack Reber is now celebrating his 100th birthday. He now resides in the Veterans Home he helped make possible. Now therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of Ivins, State of Utah as follows. In recognition of his status as Ivins' oldest living long-term resident, his outstanding service to Ivins City as mayor, and his foresight in securing the donation of 10 acres of land from the Allen Blood estate, upon which the Southern Utah Veterans Home Campus now exists, we hereby declare June 16, 2021 to be Jack Reber Day in Ivins City.
So I'd like to say, this is Jack's, this is yours. We're going to hang this in your room. And we have a duplicate copy. So it's going to hang in a general area in the veterans hall. We have another duplicate copy that we're going to give to the mayor, and he can hang it where he'd like. So,
At New City Hall. So we don't roast him. I think we're about done. Except for one last cheer and the parade back. I think it's writing in. Thanks again, everyone.